Amaka stood at the entrance of the compound, her hands trembling. The evening air smelled of rain and smoke. The gate creaked open, and she stepped inside the house she had not lived in for almost 3 years. Nothing had changed, except everything. As she walked in, a chill ran through her spine. Someone was watching her. From an upstairs window, Adani, her co-wife, lowered the curtain slowly, her eyes burning with silent hatred. Her wrapper was tied tightly around her waist, and her fingers were stained with something dark, something that looked like burnt herbs. Adan hissed. So she is back, the one who refused to die. Amaka felt strange the moment she entered her old room. Her son, Chibuike, clung to her wrapper fearfully. "Mommy, somebody has been sleeping on your side of the bed," he whispered. Amaka froze. Before she could respond, the lantern flickered and went out. A soft humming sound echoed in the room, followed by the sound of footsteps. Bare feet, slow, dragging. Amaka grabbed her son and rushed outside. At the corridor, she saw Adan standing in the shadows. "Welcome home," Adan said calmly, but her voice echoed differently, as if two people spoke at once. Amaka stepped back in fear. Something was wrong with Adan. Very wrong. 2 days later, rumors spread in the village. They said Adane now went to the stream at midnight. They said she spoke to things no one else could see. They said her shadow sometimes moved even when she stood still. One night, Amaka followed her. The clouds hid the moon, and the sound of frogs filled the air. Amaka crouched behind a tree as Adan knelt beside the stream, chanting. A small pot floated on the water without sinking. Inside the pot was a small cloth tied in red thread and a single human tooth. Amaka gasped. Adane's head snapped around sharply. "Who is there?" Her voice boomed across the water unnaturally. Amaka ran, but something grabbed her leg from the darkness, a cold, slimy hand. When she looked back, nothing was there, but Adane was smiling. Their husband, Obinna, was blind to everything. Adane served him his meals like a peaceful angel. She washed his clothes like a perfect wife. She knelt when she spoke to him. She never raised her voice.
Please, go ahead.
But when he left the room, her eyes changed. Her smile disappeared. Her shadow twisted. She was not the same woman Obinna married. One night, Amaka approached Obinna. "Your second wife is doing terrible things," she pleaded. But Obinna sighed. "Amaka, stop creating problems. Adan has been nothing but good." As he walked away, Amaka noticed the small charm tied to his ankle one Adane had placed there the night before. He was no longer himself. Adane owned his mind. Chibuike, Amaka's son, fell sick. It started with fever, then nightmares, then screams in the middle of the night. "Mommy, she is calling me. She wants me to follow her." "Who?" Amaka cried. "The woman with the long hair who hides behind your wardrobe." Amaka's heart nearly stopped. She burst into the room and flung the wardrobe open. Nothing. But that night, when she tried to sleep, she heard the breathing. Slow, steady, right behind the wardrobe. Amaka grabbed her son and fled to her sister's house. But even there, Chibuike woke up screaming, his eyes wide. "She is here too!" Desperate, Amaka sought out Mama Uju, the oldest woman in the village, known for seeing what others could not. Mama Uju touched Amaka's forehead and gasped. "Your co-wife is not fighting you alone," she whispered. "She has joined hands with Ebukwa, the spirit of the abandoned river shrine. That tooth you saw, it was from a child sacrificed to make her powerful." Amaka shivered violently. Mama Uju continued. "She wants to destroy you completely, body, mind, spirit. She has tied your name inside that pot. As long as it floats, you will suffer." "Then help me destroy it," Amaka begged. Mama Uju shook her head. "It is not that simple. To break such a charm, you must face her directly. And she will not come as a woman. She will come as something else." The next night, Amaka returned home with Mama Uju. The compound was silent. Too silent. The air was thick, heavy, cold. Then, a scream tore through the night. It was Obinna. Amaka rushed inside and stopped dead at the door. Obinna was on the floor, shaking violently, foam in his mouth. Adane stood over him, her eyes white, her voice deep and monstrous. "He belongs to me now, just like your son, just like you." Mama Uju stepped forward. "Spirits, you have no right to this house." Adan hissed, her tongue long and snake-like. Then the light went out, and something else entered the room. Not human, not animal, something ancient.
The rain was falling heavily.
Rain poured violently. The compound trembled. Adane's body stretched unnaturally as her shadow separated from her, forming a tall dark figure with glowing red eyes. Mama Uju shouted prayers. Amaka grabbed her son and ran. But the shadow moved faster. It cornered them. Its fingers long and sharp. Its voice, like 10 people speaking at once. "Bring the child, or everyone dies." Amaka shielded Chibuike. "I will die before you touch him." The shadow shrieked and lunged. Mama Uju slammed her staff on the ground. A blinding flash of light erupted. The shadow screamed and dissolved into smoke. But Adane's voice echoed. "You think this is over? You think you can win? This is only the beginning." Mama Uju revealed the truth. Adane wasn't acting alone. She had invoked the 7 river spirits, each one demanding a sacrifice, each one tied to the pot floating in the stream. To break Adane's power, the pot must be retrieved. The pot must be opened. And the name tied inside must be removed before sunrise. But if the spirits caught them, they would never return alive.
This is only the beginning.
Amaka agreed without hesitation. She would rather die than let Adane win. At midnight, the stream glowed red.
With what she has done.
Winds howled. Trees bent unnaturally. Mama Uju and Amaka approached the floating pot. The water suddenly bubbled, and figures rose from beneath women with hair like seaweed, eyes like glass, teeth like needles. The 7. They circled the pot protectively. Mama Uju shouted, "Amaka, go!" Amaka leapt into the water and grabbed the pot, but it burned her hands like fire. The spirit screamed. The river exploded into waves. Adane appeared on the opposite bank, her body glowing with dark energy. You cannot win!" she screamed. Amaka forced the pot open. Inside was a folded white cloth with her name written in charcoal. She pulled it out and tore it apart. The spirit shrieked and vanished instantly. Adan fell to the ground, convulsing as the charm broke. The river went silent. Then, calm. Amaka had won. Or so she thought. When dawn broke, Adan was found unconscious. Her hair turned white, her power gone. Obinna slowly recovered. Chibuike's nightmare stopped. Peace returned. But Mama Uju warned Amaka. Power like Adane's never dies completely. It sleeps. It waits. Amaka swallowed hard. What do you mean? Mama Uju looked at the rising sun. Adane may have lost the spirits, but she still has enemies. Enemies who will come looking for her. And when they come, they will come for everyone tied to her. Amaka felt a chill run down her spine. The story was not over. Not even close. 3 months passed. Amaka thought the nightmare was finally over. Until one evening, a cold wind swept the compound. The sky turned purple. Goats ran wildly. Children screamed. And Adane, who had been silent since her fall, suddenly woke up from her mat and started laughing. Not human laughter. Deep, echoing, terrifying. She looked at Amaka and said, "They are coming. They want what belongs to them. And I will not die alone." Then she collapsed. That night, someone knocked on the gate. 3 slow knocks, a long pause, then 2 knocks. Nobody in the village knocked like that. Obinna hesitated. Amaka felt chills crawling up her skin. The gate creaked open by itself. A tall figure entered wearing a red mask carved from wood and dripping with fresh palm oil. His clothes were dark brown, old and torn. Around his waist hung bones and feathers. The masked man spoke without moving his lips. "Where is she?" Everyone froze. Where is Adan? No one answered. He turned his head unnaturally, twisting like a puppet controlled by invisible hands. I smell her here. She called on powers she cannot control. We have come to collect our debt. The wind howled so violently that the windows cracked. The masked man stretched one arm toward the house, the arm elongated like rubber, pointing straight at Adane's room. Amaka stepped in front. You will take no one from this compound. The masked man tilted his head. Then you will die with her. Mama Uju suddenly appeared from behind the trees, striking her staff on the ground. The earth trembled. You cannot take her, Mama Uju barked. She belongs to the spirits, the masked man replied. No, she belongs to the punishment of the living, Mama Uju shouted. Suddenly, the air around the masked man darkened. His shadow rose from the ground and transformed into a tall creature with long claws and no face. 2 more shadows rose behind him. The shadows of the 7. Amaka grabbed Chibuike and ran. Obina tried to follow, but the ground cracked open, separating him from the others. The masked man laughed. Tonight's battle had begun. Mama Uju pulled Amaka behind her. Listen carefully, she whispered. These spirits cannot be fought with prayers alone. You must use iron. They hate iron. Amaka looked around desperately. There is iron in the kitchen, she shouted. But the shadows moved, blocking the doorway. One of them stretched its claw toward Chibuike. The boy screamed. Amaka, without thinking, grabbed a broken roofing sheet lying on the ground and swung it with all her strength. The iron hit the shadow and the creature shrieked as smoke rose from its body. The masked man hissed. So, the first wife wants to fight. He clapped his hands once and fire burst from the ground. Adan's room door flew open. Inside, Adan levitated from the bed. Her eyes white, her veins black, her hair floating like she was underwater. She pointed at Amaka. She stole my husband. She stole my peace. Now she will pay. Amaka trembled.
You cannot win!
This was not the human Adane. This was Adane possessed. Mama Uju raised her staff and shouted, Adan, you are not fighting Amaka. It is not her you want. It is your past. Adan screamed, covering her ears. No, no, no. Tell her, Mama Uju roared. Tell her who you truly are. The masked man growled. Do not reveal. But it was too late. Mama Uju slammed her staff into the ground. Light exploded. A vision appeared in the air. A baby. A crying woman. A shrine. A terrible secret. Mama Uju revealed the truth. Adani was born during an unfinished sacrifice. Her mother offered her to the spirits before she died during childbirth. The spirits marked Adani as theirs from birth. Amaka gasped. Adani wasn't evil by choice. She was claimed by darkness before she even knew her name. Adan screamed as the truth broke her mind. The masked man stepped forward. The child of sacrifice belongs to us. Hand her over. Amaka stepped in front again. No. The shadows lunged. Something strange happened. Amaka felt heat in her palms. Light began glowing around her fingers. Mama Uju turned sharply. Amaka, your mother, did she ever tell you anything about your birth? No. Did she tell you about your grandmother? No. Mama Uju smiled faintly despite the danger. Your grandmother was a light seer, one of the last. That power flows through you. The spirits cannot touch you without burning. Amaka looked at her hands glowing brighter now. She faced the shadow creatures. Come! The shadows attacked. Amaka raised her hands and a wave of blinding white light burst out, slamming them backward. The masked man finally lost his calm. You dare use light against the River clan? He removed his mask. Underneath was not a face, but smoke, swirling and whispering. Mama Uju pushed Amaka. Now, strike him with iron. Amaka grabbed the roofing sheet and drove it into his chest. The masked man screamed a sound that shook the entire compound. He dissolved into black dust. The shadows vanished. Adan fell to the floor, unconscious. For a moment, there was silence. Then, the ground cracked open. Something bigger was coming. The stream behind the compound split open. A tall woman rose from it made entirely of water, glowing blue, with eyes that burned like fireflies. Her voice was both beautiful and deadly. I am Ebiyukwa, mother of the seven. You killed my messenger. You destroyed my shadows. Now, I will drown this entire family. Obinna tried to run, but water chains grabbed his legs. Chibuike screamed. Amaka held him tightly. Mama Uju whispered urgently, do not let her touch you. Your light is the only thing strong enough to stop her. Amaka trembled. How do I use it? Believe in it. The River Queen raised her hand. A giant wave formed behind her, swelling violently. It was about to crash and bury the compound forever. Amaka stepped forward. This is my family. You will touch no one. Light burst from her palms brighter than before, pure and blazing. The wave froze in mid-air. The River Queen screamed, You are a child of the Light Clan. Impossible. Your kind were wiped out. Amaka shouted. Not all of us. She released a final burst of power. The River Queen dissolved into mist. The wave turned into harmless rain. Silence. Then, peace. The spirits were gone. The shadows destroyed. The River Queen defeated. But Mama Uju looked troubled. Amaka, there is something worse than the river spirits. Amaka swallowed. What could be worse than that? Mama Uju stared into the distance. The forest spirits. The ones who trained Adan's mother before she died. When they find out you destroyed the queen, they will not come for Adan. They will come for you. Amaka felt a coldness wrap around her bones. This war was not over. It was rising. And the next enemies were smarter, older, crueler, and far more powerful than anything she had ever faced.